confident car buying experience. I'm a dad. I tell my kids often, listen, you may have good intentions, but good intentions can be ruined or spoiled by hanging out with the wrong people and putting yourself in a position to get in trouble. All of us, over the course of time, do something stupid. But as you age, you hopefully do things more infrequently that don't put you in trouble. You hang out with the right people. You're in the right spot. You pause before rushing to judgment. As you age, you tend to hopefully get smarter and don't put yourself in positions to get in trouble. You may or you may not, but a lot of the burden is on you just not to put yourself and your family in the crosshairs of trouble. So here's a great example of this, and you know Westbrook drives me crazy, and you know I love Donovan Mitchell, who's a rookie and a baby and a kid and was only in college for about an hour. And if anybody's going to make mistakes, it's going to be Donovan Mitchell, the kid. I'll give the rookie a mistake, but it can't be the 10-year veteran. You're the grown-up in the room. You're the superstar. You're the hardware guy. You're the guy we depend on. In NBA locker rooms, you understand that the young guys sometimes, they don't act like they've been there before because they've never been there before. You know, young broadcasters, young basketball players, young married couples, how do they act like they've been there before when they haven't been there before? But a 10-year veteran, a 10-year marriage, a 10-year relationship, a 10-year quarterback, a 10-year point guard, come on. Here's a prime example of what drives me nuts with Russell Westbrook, who continues to be defended and enabled. Everybody in the NBA that's been around this league knows you can't run on the court when there's a fight. So Westbrook's going to be fined $10,000, but not suspended, though they could have arguably with Westbrook on this fight. Leaving the bench overwhelmingly results in a one-game suspension, meaning Westbrook wouldn't play tonight in an elimination game at home. Now, they're going to just fine him $10,000, and by the way, I'd rather have stars on the court, so I'm okay with it. But why would you put yourself in this spot? He's been in the league 10 years. He knows the drill. You don't move toward the court in a fight unless you're already on the floor. Now, he says he heard the horn. That meant he was checked in. That meant Russell Westbrook's got to know better. Now, juxtapose that with rookie Donovan Mitchell, Game 3, Utah. There was a moment, Donovan Mitchell. There's a skirmish on the court. And what does the rookie do? He holds a veteran, Jay Crowder, from being emotional. That's why I love this kid. So Westbrook, the veteran, rushes to a fight. Mitchell, the baby, the kid, the rookie, rushes onto the court, grabs Jay Crowder, says, dude, bro, get out of here. Get out. We need you. No. Cooler heads. Don't get emotional. Shouldn't that be Westbrook? And shouldn't running on the court be the kid? Now, Westbrook may score 45 tonight. He plays better at home. I wouldn't be surprised. And you'll rush to your social media and say, told you so. But this is the kind of thing I tell my kids. You're going to make mistakes. I understand it. But I am much less tolerant of an MVP doing what Westbrook did than Donovan Mitchell had he run onto the court. By the way, I don't think I hate Westbrook. I think I'm the balance. I think I'm the only person that acknowledges he's made one field goal. Think about this. One field goal in the last 3 fourth quarters against Utah. One. I think it should be a topic. Christine with the news.
No.
Heard on the news. This is the Herdline News.
I think you're the balance on Russell Westbrook, and I'm the balance on LeBron James.
You're the balance on LeBron. Yeah.
That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little overboard on LeBron, and you balance the scales.
I would say you're really overboard on LeBron. I'm just normal on Westbrook, and then we balance each other out accordingly.
All right.
Okay. The Warriors knocked off the Spurs last night. They won the series 4-1, and they did this all without Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And so people are now asking, when is he coming back?
Okay.
They asked Klay Thompson about this after the game last night, and he doesn't sound very optimistic.
I hope, but I'm not going to expect it because I don't want to get my hopes up and not have them fulfilled. But if he doesn't play, I mean, we're prepared. If he does play, hallelujah. We got to go into the this week with the mindset he's not playing because that's what we've been doing this whole postseason, and it'll just make us better when he does come back. But we sincerely miss him and we can't wait till he gets back.
I'll tell you, Christine, these dynasties do not last as long as we always think.
I'm not going there yet. So they're going to play the Pelicans next because the Pelicans beat Portland. They swept them, and that will start on Saturday. If I'm the Warriors, I'm going to let Steph sit out for as long as I possibly think he can. If they start to feel like New Orleans is giving them some real trouble, then put Steph back in. Otherwise, why would you play him?
I understand that, but between Kyrie and Steph, we cannot deny this. The two potentially best teams in each division, superstar guards, are injury prone.
The reason that Kyrie is out, though, for the rest of the season, okay, but it has nothing to do with a new injury. It's an old injury that got infected, so they had to do a surgery for that. That's not a new injury.
A lot of games. Steph's missing a
I
lot.
also am really happy. Do you realize what you just said? You said the two best teams in each conference?
I think starting next year they will be.
Okay, I thought you meant this past
No,
year.
I think
finally giving in to the Celtics.
No. I think the Celtics starting next year, if you look at, and listen, you can't blame Boston. Their two best players got hurt.
Sure.
So in the end, I think starting next year, Boston and Golden State, and I'll get into this later today. I think Boston next year, playing Golden State, I'm taking the Celtics.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But right now, Boston, you can't blame them. Boston can't. This is all fun. This is cotton candy sports. No, it's not real food. They're not going to last very long.
I think cotton candy is a real food. It's offensive that you would say that. The Sixers beat the Heat in 5 games, and they were in Philly last night when they won the series, and they did not hold back in their celebration whatsoever. There they are presenting the bell to Brett Brown. Is that water?
That's
or is there
funny.
Maybe a beer that I see?
That's awesome.
It's what do I?
Look at him.
Why is it chocolate milk? Who
That is
pours
so-
chocolate milk on someone? That smells so bad after it sinks in. But they should be celebrating like this. I'm really happy for them.
Yeah.
Usually I would not support a team celebrating after the first series. There's a lot more to go.
You know what?
Good for Philly.
Of all the teams in the playoffs, if I said to you, of all the NBA teams, who's the fun team? You'd say
Philly.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, for sure.
They're fun. It's new.
Look at JJ Redick.
I grew up in an NBA where Philadelphia was great every year. So I think Philadelphia in my world was always fantastic and always fascinating, and they just, like the Warriors, they went underground for about 25 years. I love they're back in the party because I think it's an amazing NBA city. It's like Golden State. Golden State went, like, they hibernated for 3 decades. The minute they're good, I was in the Bay Area this weekend. You can't believe how intense Warrior and Philadelphia fandom is in those cities.
It should be. So they will play the winner of the Celtics-Bucks series, which is right now 3-2 Celtics, which I'm excited to watch.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for Philly, too.
Yeah.
And finally, Andrew Luck, it is being reported, will not throw at minicamp. And more specifically, that means he will not be throwing at all, will not even be throwing to play catch during warm-ups. He is still recovering from shoulder surgery.
Well, Vegas has their over-under at 7, so I think Vegas is asking the same question.
Wins, you mean? 7 wins?
Yeah, over-under on 7, which is incredibly low if Andrew Luck started, because the AFC is not as good as the NFC. So, listen, I love Andrew Luck, but I've said last year I predicted it would be a lost season. It was. I'm not going to have any strong opinion until I see him throw. And once he throws, I'll go back on board. Right now, I am in the let's just wait and see. I think he's going to be fine. I think what their thing is, they got the draft. They want to solve some holes. They're just not going to risk. They're not going to risk this 1%. It's a little bit what Kyrie Irving and the Celtics. They're like, what's the point? We put too much money into Kyrie. We're not going to waste it.
Well, with Kyrie, they had to do what they did. They didn't even have a choice.
Well, I mean, Andrew Luck, they can make the same argument.
Right.
We have to do this. We're not. Listen, he's too big of an investment. Don't throw until you're 100% satisfied.
Sure.
Christine with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line
Big
News.
announcement about 40 minutes from now. Roger Goodell will also come on the show today. NFL draft is tomorrow. And with that, we go to New York via the Coward Global Satellite Network. First things first, Nick Wright. Okay, so these numbers are hard to even fathom. Russell Westbrook, in the last 3 fourth quarters, has made 1 field goal. In one of those fourth quarters, he didn't take a shot. If LeBron goes 6 minutes to start a game without a shot, we go apoplectic. He went a fourth quarter without taking a shot. Nick Wright, explain to me why we're not calling out Westbrook here.
See, here's the thing, Colin. I was so ready to come on here, and I still will, and admit something. You may have had a point about Russell Westbrook all along. I'm ready to say that. I'm ready to say that while I envy and admire how hard he works,
yes,
that he could maybe learn something from you and from what you've been saying about working smarter rather than simply working harder. And while I love watching the anger with which he plays, sometimes that anger is used against him to a degree.
Yes.
He made the biggest game of their season, the Game 4 against Utah, a personal battle with the fourth best player on Utah, and that was a poor decision. So I concede all of that ground. But what I can't do is allow you, I feel like that last part of your question is a straw man. The idea that Russell Westbrook doesn't get criticized. He's gotten criticized as much, if not more, than any superstar in the league over the last decade, not named LeBron James. Everything that went wrong in Oklahoma City was blamed on Russ. Kevin Durant leaving was blamed on Russ. The team not winning more games last year was blamed on Russ. And this year, a lot of it fair, by the way, this year has been blamed on Russ. So I do feel like he is criticized.
Okay, let me jump in
ahead.
here. Let me jump in here. Ty Lue's called out LeBron. Steve Kerr's called out Durant. Billy Donovan is either petrified or has been given orders, defend Russell. Could I not argue that at least Sam Presti and Billy Donovan, at some point, it's okay publicly, like Ty Lue or Steve Kerr, to go, yoo-hoo, come on, clean your act up in the fourth.
Well, yes, I agree, and I don't think Billy Donovan has acquitted himself well this series or this season. But I will say this. This was the first year where they could publicly, if they wanted to, criticize Russ because he held the fate of their franchise in their hands. The next time OKC signs a marquee free agent will be the first time since the franchise moved from Seattle. They had to recreate their team on the fly last season and design everything around enticing Russ to stay. Because even though he's flawed, he's one of the 10 best basketball players alive, and you cannot let Harden, KD, and Russ all walk out that door.
Right.
They got Russ to sign that extension, so now maybe some tough love. I understand that criticism, and the local media is obviously intimidated by him. That is, when you cover professional sports in Oklahoma City, if the Thunder or Russ cut you off, you don't have a lot of outlets.
Right.
So that criticism, I think, is fair, Colin.
Okay, so I said something last week. You called me out. I didn't sleep for days. It was very tough on me, my emotions. I said, listen, LeBron's still amazing, but the emergence of Simmons and the Sixers and the dynasty out west and the Rockets, a rivalry to the dynasty, LeBron could twist an ankle and I won't go to Netflix with the Eastern Conference playoffs anymore. That they're not beholden to LeBron. Now, he's great. But I'm watching the Sixers last night, and they did again, for the second time in a series, what nobody else does. They were awful from three-point land, and they still win by blowout. This is what I'm saying about Philly. They're fun. They're long. They can play defense. They're good. Since January 1st, best team in the East. I'm not saying LeBron's not great, but if he gets bounced in the playoffs, I'm not going to Netflix. Like the league, I think Philadelphia is really special.
I just feel like this commentary is 2 years ahead of time. And I think you're saying if LeBron gets bounced in the playoffs, you're not going to Netflix. And then all of a sudden you would find yourself scanning for the latest episodes of Narcos if you're looking at an Indiana Raptors semifinals and then a Bucks Sixers semifinals on the other side of the bracket. And you keep throwing around this word dynasty, that there's a dynasty out west, there's going to be dueling dynasties out east, none of them involving LeBron James. Let me ask you this question, Colin. You seem to be very high on the Celtics for next season.
Yes.
If LeBron James signs with the Sixers, who's the overwhelming favorite in the East? I'm just curious.
Okay, he's not signing with the Sixers because Simmons and LeBron don't work. He's not signing with the Sixers. That's a ridiculous hypothetical.
Okay. The idea that you could say LeBron and any player that is currently living doesn't work is ludicrous, first of all. The idea that, oh my goodness, you have the two best playmakers above 6'8" in the league. That's against the rules these days. That's not going to work out. That's silly. I understand Ben Simmons is not a shooter. You like to surround LeBron with shooters, but you also like to surround him with super talented athletes. You keep acting as if the NBA, you say, no longer needs LeBron, that you're not tuning in to watch, as if he's not averaging 33, 12, and 8 in a playoff series as we speak. You talk about the dynasty going on out west. If LeBron signs with the Rockets, who's the favorite next year?
Rockets.
How about this? If LeBron signs with Portland, Lillard and McCollum, who's the favorite next year?
It'd be close.
Exactly. So the only guy who can, by his free agent destination, decide who is either the 1 favorite or 1A, 1B favorite is a guy that you're like, I might watch tonight, but there's another game going on and I've got draft prep to do. We'll see. I buy it. I just simply think I've never said this to you publicly. I think you're lying. I don't think you're lying to the audience. I think you're lying to yourself. And I think you need to talk to somebody about it.
That's deep, Colin.
Okay, finally. Okay, so I picked Cleveland to beat Indy in 5, and then for an hour I paused and went, I went off into the weeds, and I thought, okay, Indiana's got a deeper roster, they're going to win. You know what? Then I watched the other night, and I'm like, what am I doing? Victor Oladipo, Darren Collison, come on, they're not ready. The baton is rarely offered. They had LeBron in the ropes, and they whiffed. So I'm back on LeBron winning tonight and winning the series. We both think LeBron's going to win, right? Like this series tonight's going to be LeBron Cavs moving forward, right?
Of course, yes, of course, no question about it.
Okay, all right. I just wanted.
No. I didn't know if you were following up with that or if you want me to expand on that.
Yeah, I mean, just go ahead, expand. I mean, it's Cleveland's going to win tonight.
Cleveland's going to win tonight, and they'll win in 6. Listen, they have not been impressive in this series, but I will say this: all year long, the knock on Cleveland was a simple one. 29th ranked defense, terrible defense. There is no defensive flip to switch. And then all of a sudden you look through 4 games of these playoffs. Why are they knotted at 2 games apiece with the Pacers? They have the 4th best defense of any team in these playoffs, and that's adjusted for pace. That's not because the game's going slow. It's their offense that has abandoned them. They have the 15th ranked offense in these playoffs. That will not maintain. Kevin Love will not shoot 33% the rest of these playoffs, and the Cavs won't go from being the 3rd best open three-point shooting team as they were in the regular season to where they've been the 3rd worst in the postseason. I actually think there are more silver linings from this series for the Cavs than you would imagine. If they were 2-2 because they had lost games 130, 120, you would be saying, well, see, the defense couldn't get better. The defense has gotten better. Their offense has stunk. The offense with LeBron will always be fine in the long run. What's going to happen is this. I will be on with you in 2 weeks, and the Cavs will have won games 5 and 6, and they will be up either 3-0 or 3-1 in their next series. And you'll say, can you believe there was a guy on this network saying it's the Sixers era now? And I'm going to say, yeah, I think I know that guy. I think I used to be friends with that guy. At least I used to know that guy. That's what we're going to be doing.
Okay, I just texted my therapist. Nick Wright,
good.
First things first. I'll be watching tonight. Good seeing you. Good talking to you, bud.
You too, and I'm excited for the announcement. Good to talk to you, Colin.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, big announcement next hour. Roger Goodell's on the show today. Draft is tomorrow. We got a lot of moving parts on the show. Yesterday now, Christine, we had Josh Rosen on the show.
Yeah, big deal.
A very heavily criticized guy. I thought he accounted for himself very well. And a lot of you reacted to Josh Rosen and were like, man, I really like this kid. And I think you like this kid for the same reason I like this kid. And I'm going to talk about that coming up next. Being a mom is like 1,000 little jobs. You got to be the 5-star chef. You got to be the superintendent. You got to be the Uber driver with your kids around town. Well. It's time for payback. 1-800-Flowers.com. Mother's Day is around the corner. And Mother's Day Rush, You want to get ahead of it. Right now, if you call 1-800-Flowers, they'll give you the exclusive 36 for 36 offer. That's 36 sorbet roses, a buck a rose, $36. It's a mix of pastel shades, orange, lavender, pink, roses guaranteed to make her smile. And for the record, if you're wondering here, you pick the delivery date, they do the rest. They always ship them overnight, picked at their peak to ensure freshness. 36 sorbet roses, $36. Offer ends this Friday. So you got 2.5 days. 1-800-Flowers.com, code HERD. 1-800-Flowers.com, code HERD.
Ronaldo and Real Madrid face off with Lewandowski and Bayern Munich. UEFA Champions League semifinals first leg today at 2 Eastern on FS1.